Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Heather, and for those of you who have been here, welcome back. For those of you who are new here, I'm really glad that you're here. And if you've been here, I'm really glad that you're here too. So, in order to help out the algorithms a little bit, I thought I would go on ahead and take a minute here at the beginning of this video to kind of explain our channel and what we've got going on. So what you see behind me is La Casita Jardin. This is our urban homestead, and what we are doing here is showing you literally what it looks like on a day-to-day basis for us on our urban homestead in each season. Now, before you click off, if you are someone who is not interested in gardening, there is nothing wrong with that. Please feel free to stay on this channel, because if you have any interest in supporting your local producers, local farmers, local chicken wranglers, milk producers, whatever you want to call them, go on ahead and stay put here, because being urban, of course, I can't have a cow. So I'm going to be talking about how to find milk producers, your local chicken wranglers, your hog penners, all of those things, and then how to preserve the things that you are finding, or if you are a grower and you're on this channel, growing yourself. And if you're in a really small place that's even smaller than ours and you are going, I can't do it, please know that you can still grow things, okay? I want you to know that that's where my heart is to teach you guys that no matter how small you are urban wise, you can grow something, or you can help somebody who is. So feel free to reach out. I'm going to put my email down below. Go on ahead and reach out to me. I'm looking at starting some classes here before long, and I would love for you to come along on that journey. Guys, let's go on ahead and get the video started, which I believe happens to be a little bit about fall and fall gardening. Glory, hallelujah, less pests. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. How are you today? I hope you're doing well. So we are out here once again at the potting bench. I came out like a good little girl with my gloves for once. I can't hold on to seeds with gloves on. Just roll right out of my hand. So gonna get some dirt under my nails today, and that's okay. I'm starting some nasturtiums here. So I kind of debated, went back and forth on how to do this vlog, and I kind of settled on just like a real talk kind of a thing, almost like if my best friend showed up, then how would I talk to them about garden things. It's kind of what I'm going for today. And the main thing that I wanted to talk to you about, because I get it, at this time of the year, if you have gardened up to this point, you're probably just as exhausted as I am, and even thinking about putting out seeds at this moment is just more than you want to think about, because you're burnt out and maybe even frustrated, depending upon what's happened in your gardening year. But I can tell you just from past experience, from my experience, for me, when I go from having a really full garden in the summer to everything being ripped out of the garden, it's traumatic for me. It just doesn't work out well. So now I get it. We have to have winter. I understand the principle of living with the seasons. I've been living and doing things seasonally for a while now. But at the same time, I will tell you, I'm going to garden. And I'm going to attempt to garden, and I'm going to attempt to push my garden skills into seasons that maybe seem pointless to some degree. But that's my decision. You know, this is my garden, and my mom and I enjoy gardening in the fall because gardening in the fall has a lot of pros to it. One of those pros being lower bug and pest pressure. There's also lower diseases when you're gardening in the fall. So you're fighting less pests, less diseases. Win-win. I mean, what's not to like about any of that? And then to top it off, it's more pleasant in that you're not battling the heat. The heat this time of the year can be really, really difficult in our area. Can't speak. But besides that, gardening in the fall is also less prep. So in the spring, summer area, I'm starting to get into the food prepping phase of things in the spring, and then going more into full summer, we're in full prep. So I'm processing green beans, I'm processing tomatoes, I'm processing cucumbers, I'm processing all of our basil into pesto or drying it, and I'm doing the same thing with all of the herbs. I'm processing the herbs for over winter so that we have a stock for the winter months. So a lot of the work, the extra work in the summer, just revolves around what we could call basic food prep. Now, going from that into fall gardening, there is a lot less prep work after you've grown on all of your crops. I guess the exception would be, you know, those who are growing, I think I can do, I'm gonna try this hybrid mini broccoli again. If you are doing, if you're somebody who does a lot of like kimchi type stuff, if you're wanting to make a lot of you know, sauerkraut and fermented cabbage type product, I mean, good on ya. I don't really care for it personally. I occasionally will eat a nice kimchi, but in general, I'm not a huge, I don't do a lot of pickled product. Think what you want about me over that, but I don't feel good after I eat it. Fermentation is fermentation. I don't feel good after regular alcohol, so I'm not going to feel good after fermented food either. It's the same process, you know, kind of a thing. But that's really about the only major prep that I could say would revolve around the fall garden. Okay, so what I'm literally doing is sowing seed trays here for us to come out and just automatically harvest off of, and that's it. So we will come out, and after these have grown on, depending upon what it is, I do have some zinnias and kaleettes and kale, and I'm going to be doing some spinach here as well for us. But otherwise, everything here is a one and done, and that is something that you do need to know when it comes to fall gardening that is different. So unlike in the summer garden, where when you are planting, say, tomato seeds and cucumber seeds, you're gonna get multiple fruit off of tomatoes and cucumber plants, obviously. You're not gonna have that with turnips and beets and kohlrabi, rutabaga, parsnips. Those sorts of plants are basically a one and done. So you have the one seed, you put the one seed in, you're going to get one plant. The exception to this is that sometimes you will get two plants on like a beet, and I've actually got some beets started here, so let me get my hands dusted off, and I'll turn you around and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so here, these are all of our beets. Now I planted one in each of this plug cell, but as you can see, in some of them we've got two plants coming up. The reason for that is when it comes to beets, the way their seeds are structured, the seeds are actually inside a little shell. And in that little shell, you can have more than one seed. Oftentimes, there's only one seed, but it does occur where you get two. I'm really not bothered by this fact right now. That there's two in the holes. It's fine. What I can do when I go to plant them out in the garden is I can separate them out, having put them in the trays this way. That is one of the bonuses. And then I'll have two beets. So, I mean, awesome sauce. If you're direct sowing, because this is a crop that you could direct sow out in your garden if you're in a warm enough zone, you may want to go ahead and thin them out in that bed. And you can easily, if you're careful, you can pull up that one and then move it if you've got an open hole somewhere in your row. Now, that brings me to the next part of this. When it comes to fall gardening, you do need to be mindful of your soil temperatures. Seeds need warmth to germinate. They don't need light. They need soil warmth and moisture to germinate. Without those two things, they're not going to come up. So they oftentimes like to have the soil in the mid 60s to 70s range. So very, very similar to what you would do with cucumbers, very similar to what you would do with your tomatoes. They don't need the soil to be quite as warm as a pepper plant would, but they still require some soil warmth. So that's also part of why I'm seed starting here. We are having some temp drops. We're staying at night in the mid to low 60s though, and then it's coming up in the day. So I've been able to leave all of my trays out here actually on the potting table, and that's worked out almost perfectly for us as of right now. But that's just something to be mindful of, especially if you live in a colder climate. Now, what you can also do this time of the year, if you are in a colder climate, it's going to be a little bit more challenging for you. These are like super tiny seeds. Let me turn you around. I'll show you. These are upland cress. You see how tiny those seeds are? I'm trying to only get 2 in each of the holes here. But if you live in a more northern and colder climate, if you have a window, if you have anything to grow in, you can very easily be doing greens. Very, very easily. It would be very easy for you to even do lettuce and spinach or kale inside. If you do not have the ability to put anything outside at this point, because it's just too cold. All right. So, having said all of that, my encouragement for you and my takeaway for you today would be to, even if you're exhausted, consider putting in a fall garden. I know it seems really hard and like a task that you don't want to do right now, but I can honestly say from experience, your future self will thank you. Like, your future self will thank you a lot. So, I know what it is to be tired this time of the year. I run around with dark circles under my eyes 90% of the time. But I am taking a half hour out here, despite incoming inclement weather potential, to try and seed, start, and grow what I can here. Because I know myself well enough to know that I will desperately miss the garden when I start fully taking things out. And I'm already looking at having to take things out as of right now. The cucumber, it's ready. So that's my takeaway for you. I know it's hard, but fall garden anyway. Your future self will thank you. Guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Please subscribe and interact with me here. And also, just to let you know, I have a newsletter coming out. So I will put a link, direct link to signing up for my newsletter, and you will just be putting your email in and your name. That's it. And it is controlled by us here on La Casita Jardin. We don't send it out third party to anybody else. So we would really love to be able to stay in contact with you, because if everything goes down, granted, this is my channel, granted I've put a lot of work into it, but it could go away tomorrow because I don't have rights to this channel. Nobody really has rights to their channel. They can lose their rights just like that. Doesn't matter how many subscribers you have. You can lose your channel just like that. So the newsletter would be a really good option for you, because we can still contact you and let you know when we have a new video up, because we can put videos on our website now. I've got a new website up and going, so worst case scenario, I can just put my videos directly up onto the website and not have to worry about a third-party agent at all. Okay, so you would get notifications about videos. You will get helpful tips and content surrounding the garden season that we are in, free recipes, and any other wonderful, magical, free thing that my brain comes up with. So I'll put a direct link down below for you to sign up for our newsletter. I'm going to go on ahead and end it here, guys. So as always, keep it simple, natural, and essential, and we'll see you on the next video. don't forget to fall garden, okay? Fall garden with me. I promise you'll love it. I promise. Give it a go. Bye. P.S. everyone. There will be a printout for those of you who are urban gardeners. Down below, it'll be a freebie that you can print out card-wise on seed recommendations for small space fall gardening. So if you are a small space urban gardener, go down to the free download in the description box below. Okay? Bye. Did you see that? Did you see that? I caught that on film. That was a hummingbird. That was a hummingbird.